All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Dirty Water Breakdown. I'm Patrick Donnelly. With me again is Andrew Curran,
Hey guys.
David Furtado,
What's going on, Pat?
Drew Skocky,
What up?
and Ryan Donnelly.
How you doing?
All right, so quite a lot to get through today. We'll start off with Patriots winning the AFC Championship once again.
Yep,
Looking
again.
forward to the Super Bowl.
Closer game than
Nail
we all
biter.
thought. But at least some people had faith, but others didn't. Patrick.
All right, doubting is... David put it best. Doubting
It's half
is
the fun of being a Boston sports fan.
Yeah,
It's the
Kern,
roller coaster of emotions.
It's like someone
Okay.
giving a spoiler alert the whole time, Kern. You just spoil the ending. Like that's
Wh-
the whole point of a movie. It's like going through everything.
When
Same
you
with sports.
tell somebody that's at the game, start your car, it's the fourth quarter, and they're down, that's an issue.
That's
okay,
too far.
that's too far right there. That's all I'm gonna say
It's
about
more
I thought
that.
it was perfectly appropriate.
Yeah. I'll admit, last year in the Super Bowl, I went upstairs, I pouted, I didn't watch halftime, I didn't watch half the third quarter, and
Well, who watches halftime?
And then I came back down right when it started.
I
getting
watched
good.
halftime. Simple as that. JT this year. Okay.
I didn't miss any good commercials though. Last year the commercials blew.
Big facts.
Okay. So
Dilly.
and
That's gonna be good this year.
is anybody gonna doubt the Patriots if they're down 10 in the third quarter?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that's the fun.
Unreal. Okay.
Stranger things have happened, Karen.
Yeah, like losing 2 Super Bowls to the Giants.
You didn't have to go there.
Sorry.
You didn't have
Okay.
to go there.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing a whole Super Bowl preview next week. Probably Wednesday, somewhere around there. That we're just gonna dedicate it all to the Super Bowl and counting down the teams. We may have a special guest who happens to be an Eagles fan, so it's just gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So not much needs to be touched on that. So let's segue right into the Hall of Fame. Recent inductees include Jim Thome. Dave, you want to take over from here?
Yeah, it was Jim Thome. Was it Vlad Guerrero, Trevor Hoffman, and Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
Yep. Chipper Jones had what, 97%?
Yeah, it was like
Bro.
the 10th highest percentage all time.
That's crazy. He deserves it. He spent his whole year in Atlanta, his whole career, in Atlanta, and I think that he very much deserves the voting he got. And he's a great player, great leader. I think that it was great to have him in there.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I agree. My only real problem with it was that Edgar Martinez didn't get in.
But like 4 is already like tied for the record. So
Yeah.
you can't really.
Yeah, but when you put a guy like Thome in, not taking away anything from Thome, he was an awesome career, Hall of Famer definitely. But he didn't get in on his defense. He got in because he can hit. Edgar
Yeah,
Martinez, one of the
he had,
best
like,
hitters.
200 more home runs than Edgar Martinez though.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's 8th all-time home runs.
Edgar Martinez only had like what 450. Thome had like 618. I want to say.
That's true. I think you look at the Edgar Martinez. You're going with the Jones thing. Played his whole career in Seattle, I believe. And it's not like he was a slouch. He's a Hall of Fame hitter.
Yeah,
And whereas he missed by 20 votes, I'm taking that as that's 20 writers who the DH thing, which
Yeah.
drives me nuts with Thome because he wasn't a fielder. Never won a Gold Glove. He was never known for his defense. He was always the big bat.
Okay, so say a defensive first baseman comes in the same year that David Ortiz is going to go to the Hall of Fame. Do you want him over Ortiz?
If they're gonna base a vote
should
off
get in the
of
same year.
defense, obviously, yeah. I'm saying if you have 2 hitters who are both, 2 of the best hitters in the league at their time, played, long careers, ton of milestones, and you put one in, like deservingly, you put the other in, or you keep the other out just because he's a DH. That's where I have a problem.
If it's
with it.
worth anything, next year's Hall of Fame class is Rivera and Halladay, and then after that, there's literally no one. So
Yeah, no. He'll get in. He'll get
So
in. I just
most of
think
these
he
people will get in next
I just
year.
think he should have gotten in this year.
next year is probably gonna be the year that like Clemens, Bonds, they all get over the hump.
You think? That right there would be 5. Because I think Halliday, Rivera...
Rivera will get
Halladay's
in.
not getting in first
Martinez.
ballot.
What Halladay will because he died.
I still don't think he's getting in first
He
ballot.
might get like pity votes
He could.
Why
I
don't
think
you
he'll-
think that? Coming from a Blue
because
Jays
he
fan.
just died.
No. I'm
he's-
talking about
There's
not
a
getting
difference
first ballot.
between Hall of Famer and first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's a Hall
That's
of Famer.
true.
He's not a first ballot Hall of
Yeah,
Famer.
so it's Rivera, and then from there you can get in Martinez. That's 2. Probably one more. Probably be either Bonds, Clemens, or Schilling, one of them, and then the rest will get in. Or Mussina too.
Do you guys think that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame right now? Like he
No,
should have got in
They should make
yesterday.
him wait until it's like 2 years left on the
if
ballot.
he's going to
to
get in,
sweat
it should
out.
be on his last year, if anything.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with every guy who took steroids.
No,
Why Bonds then?
because it's the whole like perjury thing, and he just like took baseball for granted.
Bon-
like,
Bonds was the face of the steroid era too.
yeah.
Still,
Well, I
okay.
think
Roger Clemens
Schilling-
was also
Oh,
pretty
Clemens
much a
did
big
that. Like
one
that
too.
was more towards the end though.
There's a difference between doing steroids and then doing steroids, getting caught and lying about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what Bonds and Clemens did. They're guys like McGuire and Sosa both came out and said, "Yeah, I did it."
Mhm.
Especially McGuire, he had a whole press conference about it. All
Yeah.
that stuff.
So will they get in before Bonds?
No.
McGuire, no.
I think
he's
it-
already-
Aaron McGuire and
Clemens
Sosa.
maybe,
McGuire's
I
already
think.
off the ballot.
Yeah,
I
and so
think.
Sosa's off this year.
Sosa fell off this year.
So
I don't know. I think that Bonds should be in. He was. If you're gonna not put him in the Hall of Fame until his last year, then we can't recognize that he's leading the MLB ever in home runs.
I feel
But
like we
I-
should have like a hall dedicated to like people with like asterisks next to their name, like Pete Rose, Bonds, all the steroid era people. Like a section, like a wing just dedicated to that era in baseball history, because like you can't ignore everyone in there.
I just think if you're keeping a guy like Pete Rose out, who played the game 100% clean before steroids, all that, and best hitter of all time, in my opinion, 4,000 hits, you can't argue with that. Why are you going to put Bonds in?
Pete Rose didn't even do anything. He literally
Exactly.
bet
And-
on himself.
Yeah, he bet
winning.
on himself to win. It's not like it affected. It's
Yeah.
not like the 1919 White Sox where they bet on themselves to lose.
Yeah, that's just.
I just don't. I don't see. I think that they all should be in. Bonds, Pete Rose. I think everybody should, because yes, they are cheating. They cheated, but it is something that it's just such a big accomplishment. And these guys are. Barry Bonds is the all-time home runs leader. Skewed or not, he's still in MLB history, and he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but what kills him is that he lied about it.
I agree.
Sosa was at least candid about it.
I agree, but I don't. I think he still should be in.
I know.
Right now.
Anyone see Souza last year? How he's like completely white now.
No.
He's like pulled a Michael Jackson. It's mad funny. Look it up.
Yeah, he looks sick.
Really?
What about Trevor Hoffman? Any thoughts on that?
I like it.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
It's overdue
Yeah.
for, especially
I
with
thought that was good.
Mo Rivera getting in next year.
Yeah.
They're talking about him maybe getting the first unanimous vote next year,
Really?
first ballot.
If he doesn't, then Jeter will get it the year after.
Yeah, I could see it.
It's gonna be tough with so many guys. Like, do
Not
you think
really.
Kurt Schilling will be in the Hall of Fame at
Yeah.
some point?
Yes.
Maybe.
If he can keep
I'm
his
going
mouth
hard,
shut.
maybe. I think more likely than not, but I'm still not going to say like it's
Even with
definite.
this whole situation that happened with Sunday Night Baseball.
You don't get over 50% of the vote in like.
I don't think that has
fall.
anything to do with the vote. He's a borderline Hall of Famer as far as his career goes.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're keeping out Barry Bonds and Pete Rose because of their
Kurt Schilling never
issue.
cheated.
Still, he
Kurt
still
Schilling-
had that
He
whole
just has to keep his
situation.
mouth shut.
Just
He'll get
because, just because Kurt Schilling says some pretty controversial things, to say the least, doesn't he that has no bearing on his playing career. Whereas Bonds, not really Pete Rose in my opinion, but Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, those guys, they did stuff that directly impacted their playing career and the players around them and how that turned out during their career.
I agree. It's tough not to have Bonds in there yet, in just my opinion. It's tough to not see him in there yet.
I see your point, but the baseball writers are like one of those like old guards where it's the lying that's definitely killing him. I think
There's a change
that he
in the
lied
guard
about it.
happening though right now
Yeah.
because like new schools starting to take over. All those old writers are like retiring or dying off.
Mhm.
So those people will get in eventually. It's just when.
All right, moving on to the Boston Bruins. We'll start with the positives before I have my take on Brad Marchand.
Still haven't lost the game.
Still haven't lost a game in regulation in 2018.
McAvoy.
Yeah, that's going to be in the negatives. The streak is up to 13-0-4, 17 games straight. The other night, Tuukka Rask kept it alive. He stopped 20 shots in the first period, which is insane. He's the only reason they had any business winning that game, even though it was 3-2. But yeah, right now we're fourth in the league, right behind Vegas, Winnipeg, and Tampa Bay. Vegas is in a dogfight for first in the league. They're 1 point behind the Lightning for first. And the Bruins are second in the Atlantic Division, and according to EA Sports, they have a 98.3% chance to make the playoffs.
Was anybody expecting this?
2 months ago, absolutely not.
I was expecting third in the division or a wild card spot. I was.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know what I was saying.
I was expecting like 5th to like 7th, somewhere in there. I wasn't expecting like top 3.
I wasn't even expecting top 10 in the league. I was expecting a wild card spot. being
I
in
was
the
expecting
teens.
high draft pick.
I was thinking if
I
we,
meant 5 to 7 in the conference.
oh yeah, I was thinking if we weren't going to make the playoffs, we'd probably have like another middling pick, like at 13 or 14, like we did the 2 years we didn't. But, anyways, the Bergeron line is still producing at a ludicrous rate right now. All 3 of them have at least 20 goals. Brad Marchand with 21 on the year, and the Bruins are also the only team in the league with 3 20-goal scorers. What makes it even more ridiculous is that all 3 of them are on the same line.
That is pretty crazy.
One of them's done for 5 games.
We'll get to that.
Triggered.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know Bergeron, and he's been one of the best centers in the NHL,
He's running away with his 5th Selke Trophy, which would give him the most all time.
which is crazy. And
First ballot Hall of Famer.
I find it crazy that like the record's only 4 right now.
Not really, because, I mean,
I feel like one of those guys who played for like 25 years way back when would have like 7 or something like that.
I don't think so, because, like, back then, like, I can't really say that much. I wasn't there. I think it.
You don't say.
I want to say it'd be more up for grabs, because Bergeron far and away is looking like the most dominant two-way player in history, and he will, without a doubt, he's captain in waiting for the Bruins. First of all, once Chara decides to retire, he will be wearing a
If.
C. He wants an
It
extension.
might be a Yager.
There's no chance with his size and his age. And without a doubt, he'll join Chara as the next 2 Bruins to have their numbers retired in the rafters. But moving on from the top line, we have Rask, who's still performing up to task. He's, I believe, last I checked, he was first in the league in goals against average. At what? You're giving me a funny look.
Yeah, no, they're 2.44 goals a game. The Bruins are averaging as a team.
Yeah.
You type very loudly.
Sorry,
Which one of you was saying that they should like trade Tuukka and use over the hill?
that was David. Michael Felger. Yeah. So among starting,
I was wrong. I said
That's
I was
an
wrong.
insult.
among starting goaltenders with at least 25 games started, because the NHL doesn't have that filtered among goalies, like because Marc-Andre Fleury, who's played like 18 games, they have him leading. But Tuukka Rask is among that metric, is leading the league in goals against with 216, and is currently, I think, 6th in save percentage among with the same metric of starters with at least 25 games.
How did Carey Price get in it, not Tuukka? Like I get
What,
they need
in the top 10?
No, I'm talking about the All-Star game in general. Like
Because
I
it's a
get
popular vote. It's a popularity contest.
yeah, but isn't
Even though, what are you saying?
don't coaches decide like some of the lines too, like the NBA, or is it all fans?
So all fans voting.
Never mind. then
Pat,
that's
to
why.
your earlier point, Tuukka's 8th in the league in save percentage.
Among that metric, or
Among the one you said with Fleury at the top.
yeah. But yeah, the All-Star Game's just a popularity contest because Carey Price missed just about a month or so with another weird injury that nobody knew anything about.
He's 32nd on that list.
I know Carey Price has been very pedestrian
Like, they
for
need
Carey
it,
Price
like-
standards.
They needed a
Bad.
Canadian player on the team. I get it, but like you couldn't get anyone better.
When you're dubbed the best player, the best goalie on the planet, you have to be doing a lot more than that to get into the All-Star Game. Just saying. But anyways, Bruins are still rolling. Rask has gotten the Bruins a point in 17 straight starts going back to December. And again, the other night, he stole the game in the first period, was making ridiculous saves through traffic. We had David Pastrnak after the game saying the game could have easily been 3-0 after the first if it were not for Rask. But Bruins are also getting healthier, too. Adam McQuaid returned last week, 2 games, actually, before Charlie McAvoy had his heart procedure that will keep him out for 2 weeks, which doesn't strike me as a surprise because Kevin Miller had been sidelined for those 2 games with an illness, but usually an illness only keeps you out 1. So that probably gets McQuaid back up to game pace. And so now we'll get into the negatives.
Yeah, let's talk about Marchand.
We'll start with Charlie.
Oh,
So
that's not fun.
November 26, 2017, after the game, Charlie McAvoy tells team's physicians that he had experienced heart palpitations during the game.
What do palpitations feel like?
I don't know if you feel
Ask Charlie McAvoy.
Ask Charlie.
Let's
Pretty
get
sure
him
his
on the
DMs
show.
are open on Twitter.
Let's get him
There
on
we
the
go.
show.
I might be wrong about that. Anyways,
To Twitter.
he
Get
was
out of my
examined by
DMs.
team doctors. It was deemed that the condition was not detrimental to his health. However, it could reoccur at any moment with significant symptoms. and he played through every game since then while being monitored very closely. And just 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, he had.
Dave, you want to read the definition?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We got
I'll,
heart palpitations up
little
right
medical lesson here.
here.
Is this
WebMD.
when your heart skips a beat?
No, this is Mayo Clinic.
Oh,
Oh, the
alright.
Mayo
Yeah.
Clinic.
damn.
Mayo Clinic.
Talking
Same
the
thing, whatever.
official.
Symptoms of heart palpitations: skipping beats, fluttering, beating too fast, or pumping harder than usual.
Okay, so
So
me right
he was
now,
experiencing
should I,
some of that.
so
be scared?
everything that can contribute to an abnormal rhythm, which is what the phrase the team used.
Arrhythmia.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So that kept him in the hospital overnight. We'll keep him out for 2 weeks. So that means Adam McQuaid will get a full-time job back for the foreseeable future.
Oh,
And now we get into the real bad stuff.
Wait, Adam McQuaid back isn't the bad part?
Shut up.
I mean, he played well. Actually, when his first game back against the Islanders, we had Judd Surratt, the new play-by-play on 98.5, replacing Dave Gosher, asking how the Islanders can possibly or how the Islanders could could factor for Adam McQuaid. And I remember listening to that, and what are you talking about? Adam McQuaid is not an offensive threat at all. He's not somebody you game plan for. He's like, that's the Adam McQuaid effect. What Adam McQuaid effect? Being a second version of Kevin Miller?
Oh.
Being a worse
Wow.
Kevin Miller?
Fair enough.
Kevin Miller used to be a worse Adam McQuaid, but Kevin Miller stepped it up last year in the playoffs and has had a very solid season so far.
Tell us how you really feel.
That Adam McQuaid is now a worse Kevin Miller. Adam McQuaid is a fine third pairing defenseman.
Nah,
He's
he's like
not-
a seventh defenseman, not
he's-
even third pairing.
No, third pairing.
More of a
He's-
Louis Erickson kind of guy.
He doesn't even play defense.
It's a
Are
joke.
you kidding? All right. But
Stick to puns.
Adam McQuaid is not somebody you game plan for. He's not somebody that will contribute to your offense. And frankly, I really don't know what Judd Surratt was thinking with that comment because Bob Beers didn't even know how to handle it. He said, I don't remember what he said, but he really didn't have a concrete answer because Adam McQuaid just doesn't do. That's not something you do for Adam McQuaid. Anyways, back to the first point. Brad Marchand.
Woo!
5-game suspension for elbowing Marcus Johansson in the head the other night.
Elbowing in air quotes.
No, it was
No.
a clear elbow.
It was-
It
It
looked
was
like
a clear elbow.
My take, he was just trying to backhand it in right there.
Well, yeah, it was after he had the shot. They're both converging on the net. It was an awkward play. It looked like Marchand had his elbows up to begin with. He probably thought he was going to get nailed. And then this is where that narrative becomes clouded because he lunges, might have flopped, might have fallen, toe picked, whatever. He lunges at Johansson and catches him clearly in the head. Johansson goes down. He's injured, probably concussed, and he leaves the game. No penalty was called on Marchand, and after the game, he pled ignorance, said he didn't know what happened, and I think Nesson was claiming that it looked like an accident. But when you have a history like he does, you're not going to come out unscathed from that.
But 5 games?
That's a little.
That I don't agree with that.
I do and I don't.
Why?
I would have. So if I were George Parros, leader, Department of Player Safety chair, I would have given him probably 2 or 3 for the hit alone. But I think his reputation gets him up to. I think his reputation definitely gets him 5.
Kind of ironic how they got Parros, who's head of safety and whatnot.
Why? Because he was a goon.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly the type of guy you need.
Why?
Because he knows exactly what he knows.
That
he
is
knows
true.
What
That's
he was a goon, but he was clean about it.
That's true. You need to get someone who knows the system to take care of it.
He was a clean goon.
I don't think it should have been 5 games.
He was a classy goon.
So, but this is where it
Take
comes
him for a
into
beer
question
afterwards.
because Marchand's been suspended 4 times and been fined a total of 3.
5 times.
Suspended 5
I'm
times?
pretty sure it's 5 suspensions, 3 fines.
Oh yeah, it was 4 times before this suspension.
Oh, this is
so.
the-
So
all
now
right.
it's 5 times. He's been fined 3 times. That makes that 8 disciplines in his 7-year NHL career. He's been a full-time player since 2010, 2011. We're sitting here in 2017, 2018, a full 7 years later,
Curran, want to do the math on that?
and we're over a discipline per season pace here rather than point per game. And you got to be smarter than that. I know you play with an edge. I love that edge. I love that you're the most hated player in the league.
really?
I love that you're our most hated player in the league. I love
There
that
we
you're
go.
our rat. But
Well, have you seen his face?
you need to be smart about that. You're arguably the most important player to this team next to probably Patrice Bergeron.
Tuukka Rask.
Lately
Chara.
Tuukka Rask. Not even close to Chara.
I just saw a new
I put Chara
angle
like
on that
6th
hit
on that list.
that actually, now I changed my take.
Yeah.
That was definitely malicious intent.
I wouldn't say it was malicious intent. I think he was just going to hit him and just happened to
Yeah.
get him in the head. So if he missed the head, probably doesn't get anything. But
So,
No.
say this is David Pastrnak does this. Is he suspended?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a
he
history.
gets a game or two.
Pastrnak has a 2-game history. He got suspended 2 games last year. Hit to the head on Dan
Oh,
Girardi.
yeah, you're
That's right.
So Pastrnak probably would have gotten 2, probably.
3.
No,
So
2.
we think that it's just his history that's giving him the 5 games.
I think that's the biggest thing. When you have a history like that, like he does, when you have the reputation, you got to be smarter about that. You're at a point per game pace. Maybe you could actually eclipse 40 goals on the year this year for the first time in your career, and maybe missing 5 games might do that in. I doubt that though, because he always has a ridiculous stretch in this time of the season, like after the All-Star break. But
It'll
is-
be interesting to see if the Bruins can keep up the point streak
This-
during his suspension.
especially without Marchand and
Yeah.
McAvoy.
Yeah. But we get McQuaid back.
Big benefactor, though, of the suspension is Anders Bjork, who's back from the depths of Providence. He had 4 points in 8 games down there. And he'll hopefully just slot right in on the left of Bergeron, where he played pretty well earlier this
And
season when Marchand
what
was out with a
happened?
concussion.
It'll be interesting to see.
Hope
It
he
will.
doesn't fall off face the earth again.
They play tonight in Ottawa. Today is Thursday, January
That should be a
25th.
win.
7:30. Yeah.
It should be, for all intents and purposes, but I don't want to put it down just yet because we're missing 2 of our best players. But tonight will also be the first game before the All-Star break, which Brad Marchand is the only Bruins player on the All-Star team. I think Patrice Bergeron got snubbed, not so much David Pastrnak, even though his production's a little better.
No.
Because I think Patrice Bergeron's a legitimate Hart candidate, but we'll get to that later.
Yep. I already talked to Rask. Another snub, but nothing you can do there.
Yeah,
They
Rask
need-
was definitely snubbed
They need
too.
one Canadians player because it's like part of the CBA. Every team needs a player.
Yeah, he's probably been the best player on that team this year because they live and die by him. And Max Pacioretty's had a down year. Probably would have been him if he was having a regular year. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the Celtics right now, and just snapped a 4-game skid last night.
Good win. Good
yeah.
win.
Finally.
They needed it.
Still
Yeah,
in
they
first
did.
though, right?
No, we're second in the NBA.
No, in the East.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. I don't think Toronto's that great, and the Cavs are. We're gonna get into that later, but the Cavs are just a
we
mess
have we
right
still
now.
have a 3-game lead on the Raptors.
Yeah, I don't see the Celtics giving up the number 1 seed at all this year, at all. I think that they'll go in number 1 seed.
Yep.
I think that they go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they either win or lose. I think that the
Could go
Cavs
either
will
way.
come around, and I don't think Toronto's going to be good enough. I don't think Washington's going to be good enough.
Washington. I'm counting Washington out of the hunt for the semifinals at this point.
Yeah, I think the Cavs will be making it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and because it happens every year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a tough matchup because we're going up against LeBron James, who's not overrated at all. But
We'll get to that.
yes, we will.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will.
So
Nope.
Yes, we will. We're
You need
not
to
signing
defend-
out
you-
until you do it.
you need to defend your statements.
My opinion is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it.
so
Alright.
No, that's the whole point of this show.
we have the All-Star team: Kyrie, Al
Al.
Horford, love it. Jason Tatum,
Was Jason Tatum snubbed?
no.
No,
Andre
Drummond
he
should have
faded off
gotten-
big time at the end.
He did. Down last couple weeks when
I mean,
voting really counted, he
this
kind of
was-
went away.
Last night was probably the first time he's eclipsed 7 points in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But he scored 18.
If Drummond got in, Tatum would have been the biggest snub, but like,
No, I think the biggest for the Eastern Conference.
for the East. For the East, Tatum was probably the second biggest snub because
I think that Chris Stapps wasn't a starter is the biggest snub.
How about
who are you
Ben
gonna
Simmons?
put in over him?
Ben Simmons not starting, not even playing.
You can't really like get mad
I
at
could care
Simmons
less about Ben
'cause
Simmons.
I
I
could
don't
too,
think it's
but
a snub at all.
It's
I-
Giannis.
Ben
Ben
he
Simmons
came-
is not snubbed
There's
at all.
Giannis and LeBron over Porzingis in the starting lineup. So
That's also true, yeah.
it's tough.
like you're not gonna take 2 of the like top 3 players in the league.
Should Andre Drummond have been an All-Star? Probably, but then he goes and bitches to it on Twitter, and it's ugly. It really is. Like, these NBA players are so entitled, you know? I mean, Damian Lillard has been bitching for 2 years, even though he should have been an All-Star. I completely agree. And he's been bitching for 2 years and happens to get in now, and now he's
We
upset.
swear?
Now he's
I guess.
upset that Russell Westbrook said that Damian Lillard shouldn't have been an All-Star. And he just finding ways to complain. Andre Drummond saying,
All right, we're back. The recorder, the batteries died on us.
Thanks, Obama.
So
Jesus
we had
Christ.
a brief intermission, and we're back.
Bush did it.
Curran,
okay,
back to your rant.
I believe I was talking about how Lou Williams shouldn't be bitching about not making the All-Star team.
Whoa, this is a family program, Curran.
Okay, this
Yeah,
is
we're gonna have
my...
Shut up,
colleges listening
Drew.
to this, dude. Come on.
I'm sorry. Okay, so all I'm saying is that Lou Will, hey, give it to him. He's having an insane season. He really is. But All-Star worthy in the Western Conference? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He's the one who-
he
guy who
just
doesn't.
turned it up in the last month and a half of the season.
Which is when voting really mattered.
Yes, but he still didn't get it. There's a reason why he didn't get it. You know? Damian Lillard gets it in. That's great. And then complains about Russell Westbrook, saying that he shouldn't be in, or there's better guards, and Paul George should have been.
Because Paul George
in.
should have been in.
I think he should be in.
No.
You should.
I think he should. David, you brought up 20 and 5, right?
20 and 5 for the season.
And Lou Will
And like
is
3 threes and like 2 steals.
23, 2, and 5.
23, 2 and 5. Okay, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but
He's having a better season than George.
in that Western Conference, though, he doesn't deserve to be an All-Star at all. You know, and back to it all, Tatum never was snubbed. He's having a great year. He's gonna be top 3 in Rookie of the Year. He just isn't an All-Star yet. You know, Jaylen Brown not an All-Star yet, but they're gonna get to that point. Tatum could be a superstar, but he's
gonna
just
be a superstar.
yes,
Not could, gonna.
and he's just not an All-Star yet. Next year, I'll be surprised if we don't see him in the All-Star game next year.
So would I.
Yep. And Al Horford, great. I like it. You know, he's contributing. You already have Felger and Maz already on his case because apparently he's disappeared the last 4 games, as did all the Celtics because of how bad they're playing, except for Kyrie. You know, Tatum went on the cold streak. Al Horford went on the cold streak. And the only person that's putting up numbers right now is Kyrie. Yes, he's supposed to lead this team, but he's not. He can't be scoring 40 points every single night. You know, you
Marcus
can't be
Smart,
coming
22.
back. You can't be coming back late in the game and expecting to win because that's not going to happen every single game. Al Horford, All-Star, love it. Kyrie, starting in the All-Star game, of course he's supposed to. But Tatum, not yet.
Okay. So back to the Celtics. Like you said, Kyrie's importance to this team can not be understated in any fashion.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's the star on the team. You traded, you gave up everything. You gave up everything for him. Yes, you end up winning this. It's going to be hard to understate that Kyrie is so important to this team.
What just happened?
Sorry, we got some joggers outside of the window who are having some difficulties.
All right, what do you guys think
that's just too good.
Kyrie's importance to the team
Do you guys
is?
think Kyrie this year is more important than IT last year?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is he
Oh,
performing better?
Kyrie's not a defensive
Ooh,
liability.
Ooh,
He is worlds ahead of Isaiah on the defensive floor.
I completely agree.
Isaiah's
But
doing
this
collateral
team-
damage right now
This
too.
team is better than the team last year, and IT still led them to the number 1 seed.
Conspiracy
Kyrie's
theory
leading them to
alert.
the number 1 seed right now.
I got
I
conspiracy
agree,
theory, Karen.
but IT led a worse team to the number 1 seed.
IT had a better bench.
If I can get into some,
Yeah.
the only reason the Celtics won the East for the regular season last year, the number 1 seed, is because the Cavs let them.
Yeah.
Okay,
the Cavs
okay,
tanked.
still number
The
2.
Cavs threw.
You still led them to 50-plus wins.
Okay.
That's
You
I have a
know?
true.
conspiracy theory right now. What if the whole reason Ainge is being so nice to IT is to convince him to throw and just completely destroy the Cavs locker room? Like,
I
he's
Isn't
think
that
doing-
what he's already doing?
I think Isaiah was going to do that regardless.
yeah, but like
Ego.
even more so, like call the meeting with love and
I'm
basically
in.
call him up.
Which we will get to that later because I did see something that a quote-unquote old guard and a quote-unquote new guard in the Cavs locker room is causing a big issue. We'll get into that later, but I think IT was more important to the Celtics last year than Kyrie is this year, only because the team was worse
I agree
last
with
year.
that.
And again, Kyrie's leading this team. He should be. He's a star. That's why you traded your number 1 draft pick, and
IT for him.
The pick's only like gonna be like 9 this year.
Still, your first round draft pick that could have been number 1. An unprotected Brooklyn Nets pick that nobody expected the Nets to do this well. You know? This is why Kyrie is Kyrie Irving. You know, this is why he wanted to leave the Cavs, was because he can lead a team. I just don't think he's as important as IT was last year. And we can give IT credit for it. And yes, it goes into the fact that, he's looking for a tribute video and all this crap. I just think that he was more important to the Celtics last year.
All right, fair enough.
All
So
right.
the Celtics, the bench, as we said, Isaiah had a much better bench last year. The bench is so inconsistent on this team. And I think a big factor of it is Terry Rozier needs to be producing consistently off the bench
What are you expecting when bench is like entirely rookies?
if this second unit needs to be effective at all. But it's not just that though, because you have Baines coming off it, you have Morris sometimes coming off it if he's not starting.
Like you're saying, if Morris is starting, the bench is terrible,
Yeah,
awful,
Mhm.
because he's your bench scorer. There's really not much behind him as far as offense off the bench. You know,
Rozier has been having an unbelievable month. Unbelievable
he's
month.
been having a great year for his for
And-
his development.
And then you have guys like Tice, who has been doing well for a rookie.
Tice isn't going to give you offense though.
I agree, but
Neither's Baines.
Shane Larkin having a great year for,
Shane Larkin hasn't done it enough and consistently enough.
and we'll get into Marcus Smart later because apparently I'm the
Marcus
only
Smart.
one in Boston that actually loves him. But
I want
No,
him
no.
No,
gone.
you love him to like a point that's like
Your
beyond
love,
reasonable.
your love for him is as irrational as his confidence shooting a three-pointer.
hey, I love two guys in Boston, and that's Marcus Smart and Kyle Van Noy. Okay, I love
Kyle
them
Van
the
Noy's not even
same.
technically in Boston.
I
but
think he's in
that's besides the point.
Foxborough.
Aw, snap.
All I'm saying
Bigger man crush.
is that
Kern on Smart or Donis on the Eagles quarterbacks.
I don't think
We'll get to that next week.
this Boston bench is as bad as everybody says. I really don't. They're not supposed to be scoring as much, you know? You have the offense, you have Kyrie, you have Brown, you have Tatum, you have Horford, and you either have Morris or Baines starting, right?
Yeah, that's your starters. Who's
Once
gonna
we get
do it off the
Hayward
bench?
back,
'Cause
though, Tatum goes down to the bench.
Tatum's not going down to the bench. Morris is.
the starters. The starters
Morris
can't
goes to the
play
bench
48
and makes the
minutes.
bench better.
The starters can't play the entire game.
But the bench is more defense than anything.
Yeah, well, you
still
still
need
need
to
to score.
Agreed, but if you hold them to
But they're not.
But yeah,
Your bench is all guards. It's Daniel Tyson.
Aside from-
It's Daniel Tice, Gershon Yabusele, who doesn't play, and the guards.
Semi Ojale,
who's
Okay, it's
in
a
Portland right now.
6'6".
No,
I-
he's up. He's up.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
no, he had
yeah.
he played 17 minutes last night.
yeah.
Yeah,
8 points.
He's still 6'6". Like,
I was thinking of Abdul Nader. for
Still,
some
but
reason.
he's still
He
a
was up too.
defender.
okay,
you
so
know?
that's
Really?
3
Yeah.
out of 10 people are non-guards.
Still, I think that this is supposed to be a defensive team. It's worked for Brad Stevens this year, right?
Yeah.
Except for
When
this
the
four-
starters have done their part and the bench has done their part, especially Rozier and Smart.
and this is just a 4-game stretch that they're struggling, and
But
every
it's-
team's gonna get it. Look at the Cavs right now. This team is awful, and this has been a stretch of what 1 to 2 months.
Yeah, but their bench is also really good compared to the Celtics.
Really, because they're not.
They haven't been
producing-
playing like it, but on
Yeah.
paper,
Okay,
the Celtics on paper sucks and on the floor sucks.
no, dude, you're looking at these last 4 games.
I'm looking at the stretch since the win
I'm
streak
waiting on
ended.
someone on the Cavs bench to have a heart attack. Let's be real. They're all like 80 years old.
I'm looking at this since the win streak ended. The production from the bench has gotten worse and worse since the win streak.
Yeah, well, did you really expect them to win another
I
16 straight?
I didn't, but I was expecting it to be a little more consistent than this.
It was a crazy streak
I
where
know.
the bench played
And you're-
unreal.
Yeah, because they're riding that high, but I expect more. That's all I'm saying.
If
They should get
Hayward comes back,
more. Hayward comes back. Your starters are Kyrie, Jalen at shooting guard, Hayward, Tatum at power forward, and Horford center. That was your starters. Those were your starters opening
That puts
night.
Baines, Morris on the bench with Tice. Ojale will be and Yabusele will be the other 2 bigs, and that gives you balance on the bench.
and then Smart, Rozier, Larkin.
Exactly, and that's
If you
a
think
solid
about it,
bench.
Hayward's not going to start right away if he comes back, if at all,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year. So you put Hayward on the
So
bench.
you're right.
He's playing Marcus Morris minutes, 10, 15 a game if he's healthy. And that's your bench score right there. And I don't know if you guys agree, that's an upgrade over Shemi Ojale.
It is.
I don't agree with.
Still
well,
think-
You don't agree that
Trade-
Gordon
No,
Hayward's
no,
an upgrade
no,
over
no,
Shemi
no, no,
Ojale?
no, no.
Gordon Hayward without
No, no,
his
no,
left
no, no.
foot. If he came back right now, he'd be an upgrade.
Shemi
Without his
Ojale is
right
not
arm.
bad. He's not that bad.
I'm not saying he is. I'm
He's-
just saying Gordon Hayward's better.
I think he's better on the defensive side of the ball right now.
Who?
Ojale.
Yes,
He's not gonna give you the offense right now.
That's what he's there for. He's there for to play defense.
Okay,
Marcus
we're
Smart, they're there for to play defense. Tice, defense. This is what the team's surrounded by. Like, that's what it's made of. Is defense, defense, defense. That's why the Celtics have been good the past 3 years.
You
Yeah,
can't
but
win a 0-0 game, Curran. I'm
The
sorry.
point of this is that the bench needs to produce more offensively. We're saying the defense. There's no English is hard. There's no problem with the defense right now, aside from like a couple stretches where it's been absolutely morbid. Like they had no answer for Kyle Kuzma the other night. But anyways,
That kid can play.
that kid can play.
Every
He-
bench needs
wow.
one scorer,
He got-
Curran. That's all we're saying.
He got Marcus
Okay.
Smart marooned on No Look
Okay,
Island.
so there's 2 scorers that are on the trade block that could be coming to Boston in February on the deadline.
Rodney Hood, I want him.
What would you give up for him
I feel like the price for that.
we have like 3 firsts this year.
Yeah,
so
because he's
like
your
2
big
and
name right
20.
now.
next year?
Danny Ainge will do it. If there's a way to get it without giving up everything, Danny Ainge will find it.
I'd rather Tyreek Evans. All honesty, Tyreek Evans, 19 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 45% from the field, and 38% from 3. Compared to Rodney Hood, who's 16.7, 2.9 boards, 7 assists, 41% from the field, and 38 from 3. I'd much rather Tyreek Evans. Much rather. And you could probably give up less. You would have to give up the Memphis pick back to Memphis for Tyreek Evans. You know, you're getting an older, a little bit more expensive guy, but both Hood and Evans are both on expiring contracts, and I think that you have to give up somebody like Yabusele and maybe Nader to get him, but you're still getting a scorer off the bench that you guys are wanting. You know. And I think Evans is better on the defensive end, and that's what you need.
What about Greg Monroe if he gets bought out?
I'd take him in a heartbeat. They need interior defense.
Yep.
I mean, the last week, 2 weeks, they've been getting absolutely dominated inside.
You sound like Michael Felger.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But that's not
The-
what this is not
I
what
don't
the
like
issue
Felger,
is.
but I agree with him on that.
I just said we need interior defense. Greg Monroe's a good interior defender. Why wouldn't you want him if he gets bought out?
Because
It's like minimal cost. You can always just cut him, sign for the vet minimum. There's really no downside.
I don't like Monroe personally.
You don't have to like him.
He's a good
Objectively,
player.
he's an upgrade for this team. He helps this team.
Would you rather
he's-
Yabu or Monroe right now?
Yabu because he has the dabs, but
That is true.
And
The Yabu dab.
he spreads the
Jansen
floor
Bear.
better than Monroe. That's what the team is. That's
The
what
only
Okay,
thing
guys-
Monroe or
Marcin
Baines?
Yabusele does is spread the bench. He doesn't play.
exactly.
No, I think I agree with that. But when he does play, though, he stretches out the floor. You know, and that's what this team is about. That's why Horford's
Wasn't he just
that
in, like,
good.
got sent down to Portland like last week?
Yeah, but he's been up and down. He's on a 2-way contract.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Greg Monroe this season, 10.5 points a game, 7.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists.
On how many minutes?
Let me get Aaron Baines stats too.
That's 17
About
games
23
played.
minutes.
That's 17 games played this
That's
year.
not
though.
bad. Like
So that averages out to like 15 and like 12 over 36.
I think the rebounds he's given you is equating to the or making up for the somewhat lack of points off the bench, but
What is it? Per 36,
Per 36.
it's 7.1. Right? No, 7.6.
Greg Monroe,
17.6.
Greg Monroe this season per 36 minutes is averaging. This is just with the Suns. Per 36 minutes is averaging 17.6 points a game.
Yeah. You
And
tell
that's-
me you wouldn't want that?
His split when he was with Milwaukee this year, right? Yeah, Milwaukee 15.5 per 36 minutes.
You tell me you don't want that, Curran?
He doesn't spread the floor.
I think he helps you where
The last thing the Celtics need right now is a guy who shoots threes.
True.
They don't need another one.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
you don't want to go against your game plan.
He's probably
Which
better than
is-
Marcus Smart at threes.
But here's the thing: you have teams that are coming in. All right, the Celtics take a ton of threes, a
Especially
ridiculous
Marcus
amount
Smart.
of threes.
That's
so
their
all they're
game.
going to do is they're going to game plan. They're going to defend the perimeter. You need somebody who can draw people into the paint. So that
Kyrie.
No, because
when-
Kyrie's not driving.
Kyrie doesn't draw people into the paint when he doesn't have the ball.
And Kyrie's not driving the hoop every single time he has the ball like Isaiah did.
A guy like Greg Monroe is going to get people. He's going to pull a defender into the paint with him. That's going to leave somebody out on the perimeter more open than they would be otherwise.
You just can't go away from your game plan.
If you can sign him, if he gets bought out and you can sign him for the veteran minimum, you're not giving up anything.
There's
You have
literally
two open
no
roster
downside.
spots.
And if he's like messing up the spacing, just bench him. There's
It's the
literally no downside.
Exactly, and he's not starting. He's going to play 15 minutes a game on the high end.
Not
like,
even, like,
he's not.
7,
He's
8.
going to be like your 7th, 8th guy off the bench.
We'll see if it happens. We'll see how it works out. I just don't think that it will work out. I think it will just be a wasted roster spot.
All right.
There are 2 open ones. You can't really waste them. I mean, we have a
Exactly.
good team as it is.
As far as the switching gears here, as far as the Red Sox go, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's the
All
MLB in
quiet on the
general.
Western Front.
that's the extent of
Don't look
Red
now.
So-
Don't look now, but the Blue Jays are catching up.
Blue Jays are doing work.
Get out.
No.
Am I wrong?
Sox
They
should
just,
tank.
just
The
traded
Red
Randall
Sox-
Grichuk
I never said you
last
were,
week.
but just
The Red Sox are sitting here while
Sox should
the
tank.
Yankees have made leaps and bounds, and the Blue Jays are much improved.
And I have no issue with that. No issue at all. You
Okay.
stand pat and wait till next year when you have Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. You have all these guys. Even Clayton Kershaw is a free agent next year.
Texas.
But that's not going to happen.
They don't need
That's-
another pitcher.
I'm
Even if
just-
it's Kershaw, they don't need another pitcher.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'd take a shot.
I mean, I would, but I'm saying you're not going to get
So
him.
you want to
Overkill at that
so
point.
you want to pay $25
Yeah,
million
might need
for
to, like, nice.
JD Martinez, a 30-year-old JD Martinez,
No, but-
or pay
No.
$35 million
If you
for
can get
a
Martinez for
24-year-old
like
Bryce
3
Harper?
and 75, even 3 and 80, I'd take him.
I didn't say I want to pay JD Martinez. I just want somebody.
Who?
I don't know. But you can't be sitting here. It's not going to fly sitting here, standing pat in Boston.
Exactly.
This is
Boston,
Even if it's like a 2
Massachusetts.
Just giving
3-year
you- just
deal,
giving you
just
an
get
idea.
someone.
This is what the rest of the division's done. The Yankees have gone out. They've gotten Giancarlo Stanton. I think, is that it? Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they've done. The Astros went out and they got
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole.
Mhm.
So they've gotten better, and both these teams already better than the Red Sox.
The Indians get
Blue Jays, Curtis Granderson.
pitchers back.
Blue Jays completely fixed their outfield and infield. They went out. They got Aledmys Diaz from St. Louis, and they got Yangervis Solarte from San Diego, as well as going out signing Curtis Granderson, trading for Randall Grichuk, and then they went into the bullpen, got Al Albuquerque, and some other reliever. Honestly, I've never heard of the guy.
All these guys are just role players, though. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
these
well,
guys
but
are
it's
not
better than
gonna.
what-
But that's what
Suck.
they needed.
But
One
they're
is better than
improving.
0.
Here's the thing. Last year, Blue Jays starting outfield: Ezekiel Carrera, Kevin Pillar, Jose Bautista. Bautista, Carrera, both gone. You replaced, and Steve Pearce was going to be your starting left fielder. Steve Pearce sucks.
He did well in Baltimore.
He didn't do well last year,
Yeah. Okay.
Currently, Steve Pearce sucks.
Okay.
and he's also not.
Currently.
He should also not be your left fielder.
Exactly.
So now you have, this is going to be their outfield opening day left to right. Teoscar Hernandez, who had one of the best months last September I've ever seen out of anybody. He hit like 12 home runs or something absurd like that. They have Kevin Pillar in center, Gold Glove caliber center fielder. I wish Kevin Kiermaier would get the hell out of the AL East, or the AL in general. Go play in
Jackie
the NL.
Bradley.
So Kevin
Better.
Pillar can win a Gold Glove. And then they're going to have Randall Grichuk, who's one of the better up-and-coming outfielders in the MLB.
Speaking of outfielders, watch Rusney Castillo just come out of nowhere this year and like
Not a
actually
chance.
become a decent player.
Not a chance.
Is Rusney Castillo still even under contract?
Yeah, they have
Him and
until
Alan
like
Craig
21.
collecting in Pawtucket.
I think
right now.
is Alan Craig still on the team?
I have
No,
no
I think
idea.
Alan Craig's contract ran out this year.
Thank God.
Castillo, they
was
still
not a
have on the
cap,
books
it
till like
doesn't really matter.
21.
That was bad. That
All right.
was a bad trade.
Yeah.
Back to the Red Sox, though. It's not going to fly in Boston. When it looked like you were going all in when you traded for Chris Sale,
But it didn't.
Not like people
But it
aren't left
did.
up there.
didn't.
it absolutely looked
You want
like it.
Arrieta?
How?
The Red Sox became odds-on Vegas favorites after the Sale trade for the World Series.
Yeah, but okay. Did you expect though that Chris Sale would get them over the hump?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Really?
I
they
didn't
can't
expect I expected Benintendi having a second year and hitting 20 home runs,
Which is what he did.
Yep.
Sale
and Chris
delivered.
Sale,
Okay. Yep. He was.
and
he,
Price having an overall solid year after the first 2 months.
yeah, and I think that's going to be this year.
Also, something Price is gone after this year.
Yep.
He can opt out.
Yeah, he's not
And
opting
he's
out.
gonna-
He's
There's
of
no
all that
way he
money,
opts
he's
out.
not going to leave that much money on the table.
No way he opts out.
He's not going to opt out.
Nope.
He's
I
not
don't know.
getting anywhere near the money he has owed.
So next year you have to sign Kimbrel.
What do you guys think
Yeah.
about getting Arrieta?
Sign. No, we don't need another
think it's
pitcher.
worth it.
Why not?
Another
If you can get him, why not?
don't
Another
need it.
Would you rather-
overpaid pitcher.
Would you rather Arrieta or Martinez?
Neither.
You don't need another pitcher.
You need a bat. I'd rather
You need
Martinez
somebody-
than Arrieta. You
I-
don't need more pitching.
Neither.
You need somebody who can. We still
You can
haven't
always
found
have
a
more
replacement
pitching.
for David Ortiz, which doesn't just walk in the front door every day. But
Walks in the
And-
back door.
last year, this team was putrid on the home run count.
And they still somehow led the division.
Yeah, because they pulled the
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
fluke.
Pirates and did doubles and triples every game.
That's fine. That's
Did you
that's
not
watch
the
the
gonna
game
work.
that
playoffs?
should
That's
be
not
Did
gonna
you
work in
watch
the
the
playoffs in
postseason?
this- in
Did you
today's
watch the
MLB.
postseason?
Yes, I
Did
did.
you watch the World Series?
Yes.
Did you see George Springer in the
Yes.
World Series? He's
Yeah.
the reason they won.
Did
And
you
what did
watch
he
the
do?
Red
What did he
Sox?
do? He hit home run after home run after home run.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they broke a World Series record this year for home runs.
Kern, you need to be introduced to my friend Kent Murphy.
Dingers only.
I don't
Kern
think.
Buns.
I don't think that. I don't think the Red Sox should do anything. They should stand pat. I will be okay if nobody comes to Boston and they stand pat, and I'll be the only person that's gonna be okay with that in Boston, and I will stand by that. Even if they get a wild card or don't win a division, I'm gonna stand pat on that.
So you're gonna be fine when the Yankees win the division and
Yes.
the Blue Jays take the wild card spot. From
They
them.
won't take a wild card
Honestly,
spot.
I wouldn't
I'd watch
mind
out for
it
that.
at
I
this
would
point.
watch out for that.
Aaron Sanchez is healthy this year.
The only teams you
Red
don't have
Sox
to-
will be in the postseason again.
Remember that.
As a
Bold
road,
take.
as a road
Remember
wild card
that.
team.
January
Remember
25th,
that.
2018, Karen makes the
6:04
dumbest
p.m.
prediction of his life.
The Red Sox will
That's
be in
saying
the
a lot.
postseason in September and October.
One of the
All right.
dumbest.
Remember that.
We have it on video on.
File,
Tape.
recording,
Yep.
whatever you want to say.
Yep.
On audio.
Okay.
That's what we got.
Yep.
All right. That's our baseball talk. So, what we ended the show with last week. Ryan.
I'll pass. I believe
LeBron
no.
James is overrated, huh?
I'm not saying he's not the best. He is definitely the best. I just think there is just too much hype around him.
Why?
How?
He's been doing this
He-
for how many?
Longer
Since
than
he was an
I've been
18-year-old.
born.
Yeah, since he was 18 years old.
Didn't
He's
even go
been
to
doing
college.
the exact same thing that he's doing
Explains
this
a
year,
lot.
from 18 to 33.
He just
Except he had a lot more hair on his head back then. But anyways.
he just irks me.
Oh,
Well,
so
he-
it's
he-
personal.
he irks
Irks
everybody.
the hell out of me.
Right now, his averages are 27 points a game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists on 55% shooting and 37% from three.
And don't forget, he's the 7th player in NBA history to get to, what is it, 30,000 points.
Yeah.
7th player in history.
The only knock on him is he's 3-5 in the finals.
Yep.
That's the only knock.
He's
on him.
And he's arrogant. Like
he's
That's
made,
what I'm saying. That's the
he's
only
made
knock on his
7
career.
straight finals.
And
nothing
he's a
wrong with
terrible
arrogance.
human being, but that's sad.
So,
Then
so
why does he irk
do,
you?
do you
Braun,
want to do you
Braun.
want to go back on your statement and say that you were wrong, or do you want to support it?
Oh, there's no way to support it. I'm just going to stick to it. Stick to your guns.
Supporting evidence.
Okay, so you're gonna stick to it.
What has Murray taught you?
I have my own opinion. You don't have to agree with it.
Wow,
Let's
you
rip the
sound
quote.
like Max
Quote.
Kellerman with Tom Brady.
LeBron
And the
James is
Jags.
overrated. Let's get some pearls out of that.
No,
right.
it's his opinion. It's a crazy opinion. It's definitely one of the hottest takes.
Next year, the Red Sox will be in the postseason this season.
They will be in the postseason.
I don't think it's a sure thing.
Keep in mind, I know literally next to nothing about LeBron James.
Then why are you commenting on him?
Because I have the freedom of speech.
Because he wanted to get you angry.
America.
Yes.
Brilliant.
It
Okay.
worked.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Our last subject here.
Oh, there's another one?
Kevin Love and the Cavaliers. This is our last topic for today.
I can't stand Kevin Love, so I'm thoroughly
He's
enjoying
the
all
softest
of this.
player in the
I
NBA.
hate Kevin Love.
Softest player in the
Not
NBA.
feeling the love?
No, not even a little bit.
I wanted him in Boston.
I really
You're
didn't.
the only one.
You idiot.
I was the only one in
Yes.
all of Boston who
You were-
wanted
you-
Kevin Love.
You definitely weren't the only
3
one.
years
you
ago.
were on the magnificent
Bandwagon.
I don't know. The massive, not magnificent. You're on the massive bandwagon.
Right.
That wanted Kevin Love.
Yep.
Who
And
is
don't
the
fall off the
softest
wagon.
player in the NBA.
I agree. But is it really all Kevin Love's fault? This whole situation in Cleveland right
No,
now?
but I think he's a great scapegoat.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a
exactly.
great
He's a
scapegoat
wonderful scapegoat.
for the greatest player in the game right now.
Scapegoats are almost as fun as the stress of being down in a game.
When in doubt, blame it on Kevin Love.
yeah.
Bam.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where he takes a hard fall the other night. David, you said this.
LeBron James
I saw
stepped
that.
right over him.
He's got his
It's
hands
awful.
reaching up for someone to come pick him up. In the
Yep.
NBA, we have thousands of guys coming to get guys up at the floor.
And I kid you
LeBron
not,
just walks
LeBron
behind
James
him.
looked at him and just kept going.
Just stared at him.
And then Kevin Love, and the other team didn't help him either. So Kevin Love was sitting there for about a solid 4 or 5 seconds with his hands just outstretched, waiting for somebody to help him up. And I was crying
That's
watching
awful.
it.
It's awful.
It's awesome.
No, it isn't because that's not.
It's
what-
funny 'cause
that-
the Cavs.
That shows that LeBron James doesn't care about anybody else except for himself. Which
Don't shoot me that look.
LeBron, with his Instagram post about his 30K.
Before we go to that, I just have one more thing about Kevin
Okay,
Love.
sorry.
So
Faith
if
and
you're
illness.
if you're I was getting to that. If you remember, Derrick Rose took what a month, 2 months off of the team because why? He just didn't feel like playing anymore. He just wanted to assess if he wanted to still play basketball.
Get another
Nobody has a
unfortunate
problem with
injury.
that.
Yeah.
No one has a problem with that. Kevin Love taps out of one game with a questionable illness. They have a team meeting, and everybody takes a turn calling him out.
We have
NBA is
Isaiah
getting
Thomas
soft.
leading the pitchforks at him.
Magic Johnson
LeBron
played through
carrying
AIDS.
the torches.
You're saying Kevin Love can't play through the flu? Magic Johnson played through AIDS.
Hey, the-
Quote, a source
Can't
told
play
the
through the
News
sniffles.
that Isaiah Thomas led the charge against Love. That's
Just,
awesome.
Isaiah
just
Thomas-
imagine
Isaiah
like this
Thomas
5'9" dude going to a team meeting
Indoor
of
voice
all time
current.
I'm sorry.
biggest players in the
I'm sorry.
league.
But you're gonna have
Going up to your
Isaiah
6'10"
Thomas,
guy.
who it sounds like right now he's the issue in
Yeah,
Cleveland,
they're imploding from within. It's awesome.
and you're telling me that he led a charge against Kevin Love, who's a better basketball player than he is right now.
Whoa,
I think
Ravelo
everybody's
Rose just can do a lot.
Than Isaiah
There's a
Thomas
lot
right
of better
now.
basketball players than Isaiah Thomas, and a lot of better basketball players than Kevin Love.
I agree, but it's
how is
Kevin Love
an
is
all-star?
better.
And how did Isaiah get more fan votes than Jason Tatum?
Yeah, Isaiah
and-
Thomas is like fourth in fan votes in the East.
Yeah,
Which
he-
is ridiculous.
Lonzo Ball finished, I think, what? He came close.
Lonzo Ball was like second.
He came close.
That's unreal. That is unreal that Isaiah Thomas led a charge against his teammate that he has been teammate for
a couple months.
a couple months,
That
and he
trade- the
hasn't
trade that
played.
keeps on
He's
giving.
only played 17 games, is it?
If you think about it,
Yeah.
though,
15, 17 games, and
If
he's
that, if that.
if that. This is awful. This team, LeBron is leaving after this year, completely.
San Antonio.
with all the
No.
stuff you've heard about Isaiah in the last 6 months, all the stuff he's been saying, does any of this really surprise anybody?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
it
He's a
doesn't at
diva.
all. And that's the
Very
funny
entertaining.
thing.
We
It's
should have like a
I think it-
show in there, like a hidden camera show in the
Oh.
Cavs locker room. I'd
It's
love to
all
have
keeping up
I'd
with
love
the
to be a
Kardashians.
fly in the wall in that.
It's worse.
Because it can literally be keeping up with the Kardashians because of Tristan Thompson.
Oh, true.
I love it.
Oh,
I was
spin
about
off.
to say that.
Ty Lue made some lineup changes. He's putting Tristan Thompson back in the starting five over Jay Crowder, which shocking to nobody. Jay Crowder sucks. And
IT's only played 8 games this year.
I just
Yeah,
have
not
to
even
think.
close
I have to
to
think.
the
Does
teams.
LeBron approve of this? Did he work that out on 2K before?
LeBron probably did it because he's the puppet master of Tyronn Lue.
IT stats this year: 8 games, 16 points per, 1 board, 3 assists,
One board.
40% field goal, 25% from 3, 70% field goal,
Does it have
-1 win share.
Here comes the Brinks truck.
Does it have Does it have his defensive rating?
Let me pull that
Not
up.
good.
Low, very low.
Terrible.
We got-
This trade the Celtics made is unreal. Danny Ainge works his
It's-
magic
It's the Nets
again.
trade 2.0.
It's Danny Ainge. Any deal he
Superficially.
makes, the more you remove from it, the better and better it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It really is. It's a great time to be living in New England right
It's a great
now.
time to be a Celtic fan.
It's a
And a
great time.
Bruins fan. And a
And-
Pats fan. Not so much Red Sox fan.
Hey, they're
Red
making the
Sox suck.
playoffs. I told you guys that.
They'll make the playoffs. I agree. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be a first or second wild card.
think it's a sure thing.
I don't think they're getting further than that.
I think if they make the playoffs, it's as a wild card.
When
I don't think
Isaiah's
they
on
win
the
division.
floor, team offensive rating 20 points below what it is when he's off the floor.
That's awesome. We got this new guard versus the old guard.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you know
Find it,
what? It's
opponent.
probably D Wade
Isaiah.
against Isaiah.
No, D Wade's not even in the old guard. He's in the
Opponents are outscoring those Cavs by 30 points when he's on the floor.
That is amazing.
completely unsurprising.
That's amazing.
That just makes you smile, folks.
Yeah, it does.
So Jay Crowder, crown jewel of that trade.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
No, Ante Zizic.
this about does it for us. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with our 3rd episode and a full Super Bowl 52 preview
With some special guests.
with
Maybe.
our resident Eagles fan tentatively.
And a libertarian.
Awesome.